Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on the View from the Crowd YouTube channel. And today I am going to be giving you my guide to the 2021 Formula 1 season. This is going to be kind of like a beginner's guide in a way, especially if you're new to the sport this year. Maybe just want to get into Formula 1. Maybe you've seen Drive to Survive. Sort of any of that. I'm here to give you kind of just a quick run through of what to expect during the 2021 Formula 1 season. Given that not much has changed from the 2020 season in terms of the actual cars themselves, I'm not going to be sort of diving too much into that. Next year, of course, there is a huge regulation change. Sort of the whole fundamentals of the car are changed, bar the engine. But yeah, I'll be getting into that sort of in a year's time. There's no point on dwelling on it now. But yeah, I'm going to be giving you sort of a quick run through of what you can expect this season. Maybe even throw in the odd prediction here and there. But yeah, let's get straight into this. So while there's still maybe 10 teams on the grid this year, there are notable sort of changes in two of them, and the fact that they've changed their name. So last year we had Racing Point, that is now Aston Martin Racing, and last year we also had Renault, who will now be known as Alpine, and they have an absolutely stunning livery, I must say. It is absolutely gorgeous. Same with Aston Martin, really. Just sort of wish there would be a little bit more lime green on it. So yeah, other than that, those are the two sort of major changes to the teams. On the drivers front, there are quite a few changes. Only a few teams have actually stuck with their driver lineup from 2020. Mercedes are sticking with seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. Williams are sticking with Nicholas Latifi and George Russell. Alfa Romeo are sticking with 2007 world champion Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi. Otherwise, every other team has at least one driver change for this season. So if we start at the top and sort of work our way down, Red Bull have got rid of Alex Albon, who had a pretty disappointing 2020 season despite his two podiums. He really was well off the pace of Max Verstappen, so he has gone, and in his place is Sergio Perez, who was driving for Racing Point last season. Sort of that seat was taken by Sebastian Vettel, who will partner Lance Stroll at what is now known as Aston Martin. Taking Sebastian's seat at Ferrari is Carlos Sainz, who was driving for McLaren last year, and taking his seat at McLaren is Daniel Ricciardo, who was driving for Renault. Daniel's seat has been taken by two-time Formula 1 world champion Fernando Alonso, who last raced in the sport back in 2018. He's been taking a couple of years off, but now is back with the team that he won his two world championships with, and he's going to be wanting to get a third. Whether or not that's possible, we shall see, but probably not this season. To be honest, I don't think we'll see a world championship fight from Fernando this season, but maybe next year. There are also three brand new drivers to the sport this year, all coming in to do their rookie season. At AlphaTauri, Daniel Kvyat has been let go, and in his place is young Japanese talent Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki is an incredibly quick driver, has every year taken a step up, so he's gone straight from F4 to F3 to F2 to Formula 1. He's 20 years old. I'm sort of lucky that there's still not a Formula 1 driver younger than me yet, but Yuki is only like 3 months older than me. Yeah, so I sort of feel like I'm getting old now, but yeah, he's definitely a very quick young driver, and as we saw in pre-season testing this year, he could definitely be one to watch. And then at Haas, they have replaced both of their drivers. So last year they had Kevin Magnussen and Romain Grosjean, who were driving for them. This year they're both gone and been replaced with Formula 2 champion and son of seven-time world champion Mick Schumacher, and also the son of a Russian billionaire, Nikita Mazepin. Haas have already, don't expect much from Haas this year. They've already said that they're not developing their car whatsoever this year. It's their car this year. It's essentially their 2020 car, but revamped to meet the regulations of 2021. And that's it. So expect Haas to be quite near the back of the grid. In terms of teams to look out for this season, there are probably 3 or 4 that I could probably name. First of all, Red Bull. They looked incredibly strong in pre-season testing. Where Mercedes were sort of faltering, Red Bull were really gaining. And they look like they have a very strong package. For the last couple of seasons, they've sort of been limited in the fact that they've only really had one driver, scoring consistently good amount of points, which has been Max Verstappen, while the sort of Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon have kind of been lacking. So now that they've got Sergio Perez, who is an incredibly experienced, incredibly quick driver, able to absolutely manage his tyres fantastically, it does give Red Bull a real fighting chance this year at having a go at Mercedes. It really is their sort of best sort of attempt that they can have, in quite a few years. We've seen Mercedes dominance for the last 7 years. This is the first year that I really think that Red Bull can take the fight to the reigning world champion. Next up is McLaren. They have changed engine suppliers from what was a pretty naff Renault engine to the Mercedes, which is, I think it's quite obvious, it is the best engine on the grid. But it's going to be quite a challenge with them, because last year they were involved in a very, very tough midfield battle with the likes of Ferrari, Racing Point, and Renault. And it's going to be difficult to escape them. However, I think if any team has the chance to sort of close that gap to these sort of top 2 teams at the front of the grid, it is McLaren. They seem to have a very, very strong package, and I think it's one that could do very well. Also, another team that looks like they've sort of very much built on the 2020 car and really sort of pushed on is Alpine. They looked incredibly strong in pre-season testing. They were very inconsistent last year. Ricciardo and Ocon were very sort of one race up here, one race down here, another race up here, another race down there. They did get 3 podiums last season, but I think this year with Fernando Alonso, who is a very, very good driver, even despite his age, he was getting his absolute dog of a McLaren a few years ago into positions it should never have been in. He was scoring points where the McLaren was arguably the slowest car on the grid, and really doing an amazing job. So with him and Ocon, I think they could really push on with what does seem to be a very, very good car this year. And finally, the last team I would say to look out for is Alpha Tauri. Now, there was no denying that they had a quick car last year. However, they were sort of plagued by the same things as Renault. Their car was just slow. At some tracks it was lethargic. It was just not consistent. While at other tracks, it was absolutely flying. Imola was a track which they did incredibly well at. And they also, let's not forget that Pierre Gasly won the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Absolutely sensational performance from him that weekend to get that victory. Pierre is, an incredible driver. He had a bit of a knock confidence after being dropped by Red Bull, but he's regained it and more, and he's really pushing on in his Formula 1 career, and he's an incredibly quick driver. That is one to look out for. And then, as I've already mentioned, Yuki Tsunoda will be partnering him there, and he looks fantastic. Incredibly quick driver, and I think a lot of the F1 sort of paddock and a lot of the fans are really looking forward to seeing what he can do in that AlphaTauri this season. So guys, that is all from me. I'm very, very much looking forward to the Bahrain Grand Prix in only a few days' time. It feels like it's been so long, but it really hasn't, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Also, in the next few days, I will be posting my Drive to Survive Season 3 sort of review, what I thought of it. I finally got through all 10 episodes of it, and I will leave my opinions to that video. I will not be giving away any spoilers, so make sure to subscribe with notifications on just to know when that video is going to be put out. So as always guys, if you did like this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button with notifications on so you get notified every time I upload. There will be a preview video for all races this season, hopefully. So if you want to get your sort of preview for each race, make sure to hit the notifications, and you'll be alerted every time I upload one. If you haven't followed my blog already, the link for that will be down in the description below. All my race reviews, so the previews will be done on this channel, my reviews will be done on my blog. Also make sure to check out the Grid Talk podcast. We will be doing 3 shows per race weekend. We'll be doing a preview, a qualifying roundup, and then a race roundup for every single race this season, so make sure to check that out. There may also be various other ones sort of spotted in between, so yeah, make sure to subscribe on whatever sort of platform you want to, whether it's Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Apple Music, any of them. Do make sure to check it out, and also make sure to, hopefully you'll support the podcast with our new sponsorship. So guys, that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Edwards. Thank you.